What childhood memory contained a hidden message you only decoded as an adult? Every night of my childhood, my grandmother told me the same bedtime story. It wasn't from any book. She called it a story from the old country. The tale featured a brave young girl who crossed mountains and rivers to find her missing father, guided by the stars. The story was oddly specific. The girl wore a red scarf with yellow flowers, carried 3 stones in her pocket, and always recited a particular phrase before making difficult decisions. Truth finds a way home. I memorized every detail, even mimicking my grandmother's animated voice and gestures. It became our special ritual, a story that belonged only to us. When Grandma died, I was devastated. At her funeral, distant relatives kept approaching me, squeezing my hand and saying strange things like, "You're the keeper now," and she trusted you with everything. I had no idea what they meant. Years passed. I grew up, went to college, started my career. The bedtime story stayed with me. I'd recall it during difficult times, finding strange comfort in those memorized words. Last year, I took a DNA test, curious about our family heritage. When the results showed I was 25% Ukrainian, I was confused. Our family was Italian, according to all the stories. I called my mother, who hesitated before saying, "There's something about Grandma you should know. During the Soviet era, your grandmother escaped Ukraine with her infant daughter, your Aunt Mira. They were separated crossing the border. Grandma made it to Italy, but Mira was caught and sent back." "The bedtime story?" I asked, my throat tight. It wasn't fiction. It was your aunt's history. The red scarf with yellow flowers was what Mira was wearing when they were separated. The 3 stones were from their village. The phrase was a family code. That night, I found a historian specializing in Soviet-era refugees. I recorded the story exactly as Grandma told it, with every detail intact. His response came weeks later. This contains specific locations and dates disguised as landmarks in the story. Your grandmother was leaving breadcrumbs, information that might help someone trace what happened to her daughter. I finally understood. Every night of my childhood, my grandmother wasn't just telling me a bedtime story, she was preserving the trail to her lost child, ensuring the details wouldn't die with her. I've started the search now using the clues hidden in a bedtime story I never realized was a map. Some stories aren't meant to entertain, they're meant to survive until someone can finally follow them home.